Hey, Dr. Mike Berardis here. Today I want to talk to you guys about the disc. The disc is the cartilage pad that sits in between the bones, and we have 24 of them. Their primary purpose is as a spacer, or as one of my mechanic patients calls them, bushings. Their primary role is to separate our bones so we can move. That's really why they're there. A lot of people think they're shock absorbers or cushions. They're not. They're not really meant for weight bearing at all. They do handle some of the load, but they're not meant for weight bearing. So as they separate our bones and they leave plenty of space for our nerves to come out, those holes are nice and big and open. And so is the spinal cord, where the spinal cord sits. It's nice and open. When the disc is healthy and thick, the holes where the nerves come out stay healthy. If there's a problem though, and eventually the problem leads to an imbalance, the disc starts to wear out because, like I said, it's not meant for weight bearing. If it has to handle too much weight over time, like the tires or shocks on your car, they will start to wear out. And as they do, the hole where the nerve comes out starts to shrink. And technically called stenosis, that means the hole where the nerve comes out starts to get smaller and smaller. Eventually the nerve gets affected to the point where it might give you symptoms. Now, a lot of times, pinched nerves don't cause symptoms at all. As a matter of fact, symptoms are the last thing to show up. But with regard to the disc, if you think about your car, if the car has a misalignment, either the front end or the frame is out of alignment, and you've had cars for years, most of us who've had cars for years know how this works. If there's a structural misalignment in that car and that frame, the tires and shocks not only wear out premature, but they wear out uneven. And the discs wind up doing the same thing. They wear out premature, they wear out uneven, and by the time you get to be, who knows? I mean, I've seen this in as young as a 6-year-old, but by the time you're 30 or 40 years old, if you've had a few decades of imbalance, the disc starts to herniate and tear. And when it does, it really can put extreme amounts of pressure on the nerves and the spinal cord. And that's not the time to go and get checked. The time to get checked is before. Being proactive is obviously what we try to teach in chiropractic. But a lot of times people inadvertently go down this road of degeneration and arthritis, where the disc, instead of looking like a nice thick donut, it looks like a piece of beef jerky. And that we don't want. So there are people who wind up coming in and they're in this shape, and it's really devastating. It kind of keeps me up at night because it breaks my heart when I see people that have neglected their spine so long for so many years that now it's almost uncorrectable. So be proactive. And definitely remember, the disc is there as a spacer so we can move, not as a shock absorber. Take good care of your spine. It'll take good care of you. And remember, stay informed and get adjusted.